Welcome to Outfront Ideas Live with Kimberly George and Mark Walls. Outfront Ideas is an educational series, primarily via webinars or from live conferences just like today. If you'd like more information on Outfront Ideas, check out outfrontideas.com.
We are here live at the WCI conference in Orlando, Florida, and just earlier this morning, Safety National and Sedgwick awarded the National Underwriter Excellence in Workers' Compensation Risk Management Awards, and we are here with the award winners today to meet them and talk a little about their program. You can learn more in this month's edition of National Underwriter Magazine in newsstands now. So let's start by meeting our guests.
I'm Aaron Greer, Director of Human Resources for Costantino's Food Stores. We're a regional grocery retailer in the Kansas City region.
I am Tawana Kennedy with Dallas Independent School District. I am the Workers' Compensation Manager.
Hi, I'm Bill Wainscott. I'm with International Paper in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm the Manager of Occupational Care and Recovery.
When I was reviewing the National Underwriter article about each of you, I found a common theme that is something that I think is important for all workers' compensation programs, and that's that you have a really important culture that looks at your employees as very valued and in a way of bringing advocacy to the claims process. So maybe our first question could just have each of you talk about maybe your culture and advocacy, or your terms for that, and how you've applied that to your workers' compensation claims. Bill, do you want to start?
Sure. Our culture is one of caring. International Paper has a very strong culture of care and compassion for our employees. Our safety programs are built around employees going home at the end of every day, and it's all about family. A lot of our facilities are in rural communities as well, so we have a lot of family members who actually work there at the facility. So it really does foster that family kind of culture around the facility. So that's just a natural transition for us to try and develop an advocacy type of program for when employees are injured. We want them back at work. Their employees want them back to work, and we just took advantage of that and implemented a employee type of program. And it was something that was unique because, as everybody knows, the work comp industry isn't necessarily all about care and compassion, but over the past several years we've been able to develop that and just really keep the care and compassion that's there before an accident occurs, keep it there after the injury, and just make it an employee focus. So it's had a huge difference on our employees and on our program. You want to explain your care and culture?
Well, my culture is really taking care of the students, and the only way that we can take care of our students is through taking care of employees. And so what we've done is we make sure that we contact our employees, talk to them. We send them cards. We let them know that we're missing them. We let them know that we for them to get well soon. And so what we've done is we have a return to work program, and we always encourage them, please come back. We miss you, we love you, and by doing that, we have been effective in our costs and even in our relationship with our departments and our school campuses.
Well, we're a family-owned organization. Family is everything, and the employees are family. So we really try to, from the time that they go out, we want to make sure we treat them like the same family they were before they were injured. A big part of that is making sure that every day they know that they're wanting back at work, like Tawanda said. It's making sure that we operate on an outcome-based model and not a price-based model. We realized a number of years ago that there were some things missing in that model as far as the price-based, and so now it's all about the outcomes and the employee's perception when that injury closes. Did they have a good experience? And if they didn't, then we've failed. And so really we've tried to pick that apart, and every piece of it that we can improve their experience is a positive for us. So
I think that's really an amazing opportunity that our audience has as a takeaway, in that injured worker experience matters. We may have regulation and process in place, but if we fail to acknowledge the experience that that injured worker has, and especially if it's a negative experience, that can just sort of parlay somebody's perception of what it is you're doing every day. So each of you had some really great points on that. Thank you for sharing.
Aaron, in the article you mentioned two things that I'd like you to elaborate on, and that was how you're using functional testing and also nurse triage.
Certainly. Number one, with nurse triage, we implemented that about 5 years ago now, and we didn't go with the traditional model of having a call center that was based off-site. We still have a call center, but we operate with nurses that are local and know the area, and we have somewhat of a geographic advantage in that our nurses know the providers, and we like to know the providers as well, and we make sure that the nurses are involved, they're in our stores, they know our employees, and so it makes certainly a level of comfort there that wouldn't be there with some nurse case management programs. But so we feel like it's a holistic approach to the case management. And that way they also have an advocate from the time the call comes in 24/7 until the claim is closed, and that they're happy. So if there's anything that comes up later on, even after it's closed, they oftentimes will contact the nurse and get resolution. As far as the functional capacity testing, we implemented that roughly about the same time. We had a process in place prior that just wasn't performing the way we wanted to, so we went back through and we made it much more valid and much more perfect to our industry, I think, in the fact that it's we really spent a lot of additional time on the job analysis piece and making sure that the job analysis really reflected exactly what the employees are doing, and then having the employees come in and validate, current employees validate that what we've put together is exactly what they do day to day. And it's a continual process. We reevaluate that about every 6 months, and it's a learning curve, and it has to continue. So.
Tawana, next we want to shift to you. And the Dallas Independent School District had phenomenal cost savings, 90% reduction, which would be envious across the industry, 90% reduction in claimed costs from 2003 to 2017. Will you share some of the key elements you had in your program that helped your organization achieve those results?
Okay, one of the key elements that helped us is that we were able to implement a 504 health care program. That way we are able to direct medical care. We are the ones who selected the doctors. We are the ones who select the physical therapy. We select any imaging companies. And what that does for us is we're able to direct them into taking care of our employees. So anytime our employees go to one of our emergency care facilities, then we've talked with them so to get those employees in with and let them stay there 45 to an hour and 30 minutes. So our employees, when they go in, they're going to rush them out, not that they're not receiving excellent care, it's because their time is valuable. Many of our employees are teachers, and then you have the custodial staff. Those are many of our injured employees. So we directed the medical care. Then we have plenty training. We train all the time. We train all of our departments. We train all of our campuses, and we train all of our cost containment employees, our TPAs, and we're always just together. We're reviewing claims, and then we have the one great thing that we do is we have safety incentives. So we the departments that does not have claims are departments that the number one claim department, they get Golden Eagles, and they are given safety incentive awards, sometimes $2,000 for the department, sometimes $4,000, just depends on what area they won. And so with that, they've made it where everyone wants to be safe. And by them wanting to be safe, and with our safety coordinators in place, with them wanting to be safe, then all of that geared down to us going from paying $11 million to this year, 2 point something million.
That is just brilliant. And, you know, for those of you that may not be in Texas and say, well, I don't have a 504 program, what Tawana talked about is quality care. It's a culture of caring. And when that takes place in partnership with safety, that quality care provider program, even in a state that doesn't have direction of care, we all want quality care. So I think what you've said does translate across all states, and congratulations on the program you created. Really fantastic.
All right, Bill, in 2010, International Paper started a program called LIFE. Can you give us a little more information about what that program is and the results that you've seen from it?
Sure. LIFE, let me start by telling you what LIFE is. It stands for Life-Changing Incidents and Fatality Elimination. So our slogan is it's all about life. And we did start in 2010. We have an excellent, like many manufacturing employers, we have an excellent safety program, and we achieved a record low total incident rate. And we were patting ourselves on the back, and senior management came to us and said, what's next? You know, we still have people who are being injured, severe injuries, and it's changing their lives, and we're still having fatalities. So we've got to you know, take the next step and become world class in our safety movement. So we decided to focus just on severity, and we identified, studying the data, we identified the key areas that were causing fatalities and serious injuries, and just focused just on those 5 areas, those key areas. And it was very intense. We're still learning and still growing. We put general safety practices in place for those 5 key areas, developed plans of implementation. We developed safety leadership training, developed layers of protection. We all know that employees are going to make mistakes, but hopefully by building layers of protection, we minimize the outcomes of those mistakes. So LIFE has been a very complex program. It's one that we focus on every day. Our effort is to make sure that each and every employee in all of our facilities worldwide go home at the end of the day. So it is all about life. And we've since added one additional area, and that's contractors, because we feel like anybody on our property needs to go home at the end of the day. So LIFE was a program that really focuses on the care and compassion we have for our employees. It takes us down to the very basic element of what do you need to do your job safely and go home at the end of the day. And again, those 5 key areas focused in on the areas that were causing fatalities and severe injuries. And then that same culture is what led us into this advocacy program. Here we were telling employees, we want you to go home at the end of the day, we care about you, we want to make sure that you don't lose a limb or lose a fellow worker or whatever the case may be. We recognize why you work and what's important in your life. And when the employee was injured, that culture kind of disappeared. So that's when we decided we needed to add to this LIFE program with an employee advocacy type of program and make sure that care for our employees extends even after they're injured. So.
Well, congratulations to all of you for your very well-deserved awards. And again, you can read their full stories in this month's edition of National Underwriter Magazine. Just look for their smiling faces on the cover. So thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you very much.